After 4 days in Budapest, with Chopin ringing in our ears, we are now on the night train to Krakow.
It's now 5 o'clock in the morning. Still looking good. Had a lovely night. Smooth, fast-moving train. Stopped at every station you can think of.
Train station.
Then we're now approaching Krakow. Family church in there. The grey light of dawn. Some villagers outside Krakow. Or Krakow.
We are now arriving in Krakow station and take a taxi to the Hotel Warwell. The Hotel Warwell was comfortable, not overly luxurious, but very central, and our rooms were on the top floor.
So we can watch the US Open. Hurricane Gustav. Followed by our spare room, 2 single bed, and then we move on into the bedroom. It's a bit messy with the dressing table and the window out onto the courtyard.
One of the main features of Krakow is the market square, which is the largest town square anywhere in Europe. The square was a major gathering point both for locals and for tourists, and featured a number of restaurants and old buildings, of which the main one was the Church of St. Mary. It is the main parish church for the Krakow burghers. It is a Gothic basilica and was built in 1221. The porch that is coming into the picture now was built in 1750. We decided to see something of the town on a golf cart tour.
1855, 100 years after the poets, the Fathers of the Holy Spirit. At the end of the 19th century, a decision was blurring. Through it, rules of foreign countries and emissaries made their...
We have just passed St. Florian's Gate and are approaching the Church of St. Andrews, which was built in 1079. Krakow certainly had a lot of churches, and right next door to St. Andrews was the Church of Saints Peter and Paul.
1697,
And then further down the street, the Dominican Church, which was constructed in 1250. We then crossed the river to the Jewish quarter, and these empty chairs are a reminder of what happened to those that were taken to German concentration camps. And this is the entrance to Schindler's factory. The Germans built a wall around the Jewish quarter, and some of it has been preserved as it was in the 1940s.
Treat them the same. I mean, well,
Back to our starting point, and then over to Warwell Castle and Krakow Cathedral. And we had a guided tour on our earphones.
Krakow Cathedral that we have been into already. Come up back out again to buy some tickets, and unfortunately we're not allowed to take any pictures. But it is rather lovely. The emblem of Poland and Saint Stanislaw.
Once inside the cathedral, we went up to the tower to see the view
And over there, yeah.
in the lift.
St. Mary's over there. Cool. There's that St Andrews beside it, you think, the two tower, the twin tower thing there. St Andrews, which is the oldest church in Krakow. That's its tower.
The cathedral was built by Vladislav the Short to house the relics of St Stanislaw, and the Zygmunt bell was hung in 1521, which is pictured here.
Bell is very old, 14th century, I think. 13th century.
Looking back at the tower where we took the photographs
Right
from,
up there,
part of the cathedral.
bell tower.
Krakow had a very efficient tram system, which we used quite a lot.
The Royal Route.
Every time we visit some town, we seem to come across a wedding. In the morning, we visited the royal apartments,
On the first floor.
which are part of the castle complex.
It's the state apartments.
It was Saturday, and there was all sorts of entertainment in the Old Town Square.
Knows about the square there.
Lunch in the square, and just to watch the people going by, strolling on a Saturday afternoon. On the other side of the square was a demonstration of Cuban dancing. The square was so crowded it was almost impossible to walk from one side to the other. This bus was having a hell of a time. More Polish folk music. We actually left at half time. Maybe you can understand why. Our final view of Krakow before we take the train to Warsaw.